with the exception of the baby. We're kid-free, and we're headed to Columbia, Tennessee to Rory Feek's home, Hardison Mills Farm. Friday and Saturday there will be classes all day long, hands-on workshops, and we are super excited to have this as part of our homestead journey and just furthering our knowledge. So that's where we're headed. In your words, why are we attending this conference?
Well, to get a better understanding of what exactly we're getting into. There are folks who have said before, who have been doing it for many years, that have just said, as exciting as it sounds, don't just go off and buy 100 acres and throw 60 head of,
in half a mile,
cattle,
keep left to stay on I-40 East.
Don't just go buy 60 head of cattle and 200 goats. You need to actually learn a little bit before you get into it, because you can lose a lot of money if you're not careful. But
keep left to stay on I-40 East.
Turn that down. But the main goal is, well, there are a few goals. There's learning to be self-sufficient. However, you lose a lot of time in the corporate world, and that's not to say anything against work or anybody who works in a corporate position, but when you spend 8, 10, 12 hours of every single day and you're not able to invest that time in your family, it's not like I can just take one of my children along to work and say, hey, here's how Daddy does work, and be able to invest that time into them. So homesteading, along with a couple other businesses that we're trying to build, really allows us to invest time in our children and in each other as a whole family.
This one? I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, I guess I'm just hoping, a lot of the things that, the last homestead conference we did was actually back where we lived, or where we live, and
it was really good.
Yeah, didn't realize how many people from across the country. I mean, we had folks from California and from the Northwest.
I think there was some from Virginia or something.
Yeah, out in, this, it's like they just threw a dart on a map, and wherever it landed, that's where they decided to hold it. And, but anyways, probably the most beneficial part of that was a Q&A, and the question that's on everybody's mind, I guess, that you really got to think about is money, because it was actually quite insightful, because I had asked the panel, if you're wanting to go into this lifestyle with as little debt as possible, the goal is debt-free, because
and I want to preface this by saying we don't believe in having debt at all. All we have is our home, of which we're trying to get gone.
Yeah.
So we're not those who think we want to do this, so we're going to go out and get a farm loan or any of that to start any of this.
Yeah. Debt is, to be very specific, whether or not someone can or cannot go into debt is one thing, but you got to realize that, you know, the person, you know, you're making yourself a slave to whoever is owning your money. You know, the borrower is slave to the lender, and so that initial amount of money that you bring in or make is not your money. That money belongs to whoever you're paying it off to, ethically. And then when things crash and things go down, and you know, the people who are in debt, I mean, that, you know, I think Dave Ramsey says that the number one issue that destroys marriages is money, and debt just compounds that problem. And to think that anybody who thinks they're above that they're above the stressors of that, I think you're being foolish. But either way,
I'm gonna try to hold you because sorry, we've got we've got the camera up on the dash and it's a bumpy road.
But the question I had asked them was, are any of them debt free? Did any of them start without debt? You know, like what would they recommend somebody who's coming off of a fairly modest paycheck and trying to do all this? And I think I was shocked in a way that I think only 3 or 4 of them out of a panel of 15 or more, so less than 1/3 of them actually were debt free. Really now I'm not as shocked, because you think about all the equipment that they have, the land that they have. I mean, that stuff is not cheap.
Well, and I think some of them came into the mindset of getting debt free maybe even after the fact.
Yeah.
So,
but the few that said it's possible. It's just there's a lot of work and a lot of stuff you got to deal with. You know, it's, you know, when I go by Lowe's or Tractor Supply or somewhere, and they've got a UTV up for sale that's worth more than both of our cars combined. Like, what? But both of our vehicles are obviously more useful than that one piece of machinery. And, well.
Yeah. I think you're good.
Yeah, well, one less squirrel, I guess. But anyway, so the biggest thing on my mind is, you know, what can I do? What can I learn to become proficient in to assist with the money issue? Because you know, it's unfortunate, but you got to have money in order. You know, you got to eat, you got to have water, you got to have those things. I mean, just for, you know, a small business like what we've got going, just in order for that to operate, you got to have money. You know, it's not, you know, some people have this thing in their head that, oh, well, they'll just stay home and it's not work. Well, yeah, it's all work. Work is a good thing, and I love work. But, you know, you're going to go gray for a corporation? Or, you know, you're going to go gray for something. Are you going to go gray for a corporation where they'll replace you in a second just to make a little bit of extra money? Or are you going to go gray doing something that you can say, you know, where you can say, Lord, this is good, honest work, and I'm glad to have done it and to have expended myself for it. So that would also help untie some other things. So if we ever did get a dairy cow,
True.
I mean, it's still going to be hard scheduled work, but since Riley May is wanting it, she'll just have to learn how to milk it.
I think we're just really excited for this weekend to be able to focus on getting our goals set in front of us, and exactly like, okay, where are we? Papa K. Joe's Barbecue. That sounds kind of good. Stone throw on the right. That's how you know when you're in the South. Is you don't say where it's at. You just say, that's a stone throw that way. Just like that, to be able to...
Or you go by Sucktoad Park.
Or you go by Sucktoad Park, yeah. Just be able to have our goals, like, you know, we know what we want, but what's the Lord's will for us? That's the important part, is not losing focus on, well, we want this and we want that. Okay, but what, number one, you know, is that for sure His will for us? And where's the, like, how slow do we need to take this? You know, we have a lot of factors that are going to have to come into this financially. We have a lot of other goals even for our family, and we're just, you know, need to know what's going to come into place. So that's what we're the most excited about for this weekend. So I just wanted to show you guys our beautiful Airbnb that we got for this weekend, and the lovely thunder in the background apparently. And I'll give you a tour of it in the inside. It's gorgeous. It's just very cute and cozy. This is something like a 200-old farm. I can't remember exactly. The owners actually just live right up the way. You pass right by their farmhouse to get up here, and they actually raise belted Galloway cattle. I love it because you're just right here in the middle of the country. I'll give you guys a tour, and I'll link this below after we have left here this weekend. Really cute little kitchen. Very, very clean. She even makes you homemade bread and leaves it, which obviously is a plus. Who doesn't like some good homemade? Anyway, here's the cute little cozy living room. And all the golf stuff, he toured with the PGA back in the day. So it's 2 bedrooms. So there's a bedroom, bathroom. That's a bathroom, and there's 1 bedroom, and then another bedroom, and then another bedroom, and then there's a master bathroom in here. But it's very nice and cozy, and like I said, very clean. And she's thought of everything pretty much as far as providing all the goods that you might need, and it's so pretty. And then I'll show you pretty porch you can sit on. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous view.